There was suddenly an explosion just where we were. We climbed out of the water and saw that many people had been injured. The explosion hurled people everywhere. Their brains were scattered. There were foreign soldiers who were also hit. People started running away and we got out. I saw at least 400 or 500 people there. The explosion was really powerful. My clothes are covered in blood.
13 U.S. service members and at least 90 Afghans were killed in Kabul bombings yesterday as thousands gathered in an effort to flee the country after the brutal Taliban takeover.
For more on this is security consultant and master EOD technician, counterterrorism trainer, and retired Army Sergeant First Class Robert Mike Sterling. Mr. Sterling, good morning, and thank you so much for your service. I want to talk to you about, so we have 2 suicide bombers, detonated explosive belts at the Kabul airport gate. Tell us about these bombs and the various military aspects of bomb making used in Afghanistan.
Thank you very much for having me on. What we're looking at here is we're looking at a vest or belt there at the gate, and then probably a vehicle-borne device over at the hotel. They don't have to be very sophisticated, fairly small, just something to be underneath your clothing. And it sounds an awful lot like they were able to get extremely close to the gate before detonating that device. And then the vehicle bomb was detonated over at the hotel almost at the same time, they being used near simultaneously in order to initiate a complex attack, followed by a large amount of small arms fire.
Mr. Sterling, ISIS has claimed responsibility for the bombings. Talk to us a little bit more about how much explosive material you would need. And you've seen the photographs. These look like large explosions, obviously producing a mass casualty event. What kind of bomb material and how much would you need? And the reason why I'm asking this question is that there are a lot of questions out there as to whether or not the Taliban or somebody within the Taliban allowed these folks to get through. And so I'm just trying to get a sense of it there.
So I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point that the folks from the Haqqani network, which are in charge of the perimeter in Kabul, they're the biggest facilitator for ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, and they always have been. So they clearly let them in. That's foregone conclusion at this point. Mm-hmm. Now the device itself, it doesn't require a whole lot. We're talking probably 5 to 10 pounds of explosives and a large quantity of whatever they happen to use for fragmentation effect. The car, on the other hand, it's been very difficult to get any clear idea of how much was used there. It doesn't appear to be significant, probably less than 30 pounds.
So, and my point, Mr. Sterling, is that it would have been easy, and just to be fair about it, it would have been easy to hide an explosive of this nature on somebody's person or in a vehicle. I mean, when I was in Iraq, I mean, sometimes these car bombs, they were loaded down with explosives, you know, kind of dragging on the ground. They put so much explosive in it. But you think that, given what you've seen, what you know, that it may not have been as much explosive used here?
Absolutely, you would see a higher body count from the vehicle device at this point. Mm-hmm. So what I think what we're really looking at here is just 2 small attacks. Now, this is just the beginning. There's going to be more. We have to automatically assume that we're going to be dealing with these every day until we're off the ground.
Mike, what can we do? Because obviously the U.S. military, they don't really have a lot of leverage because they're pretty much in that perimeter, and we're relying on the Taliban. So is there anything that the U.S. military can be doing to prevent this from happening again?
Well, it's nearly an impossible situation at this point. The perimeter is pushed directly up to the Marines and paratroopers that are sitting there. So it's almost impossible. The Haqqani network is not going to keep these people out. We already know that. Had they been at Bagram and performed this there with a very robust structure of security there, that would have been just absolutely wonderful. where they're at now, there is no defense in depth at all.
All right. Well, we really appreciate your expertise and insight. Thank you so much, Mike Sterling, for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Of course, and thank you for your service, sir.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.